I'm just trying to show you an overview of what the software is that I've been working on. Uh, there's several modes to the Padaco software, which is written in MATLAB. I'm showing the GUI here. This is the results, or the initial mode where you look at one study at a time. This is the count data. At the bottom, I'm clicking around to show different parts of the study where you have an entire overview. The green bar there shows where you are in the study when you look at the top view. So as I click to the right, we'll be shifting to the right in the study, and that's what it's going to look like at a much smaller time scale for each of the signals that we have available, which include the X, Y, Z, the vector magnitude, and the steps, luminance, etc. Right now I'm trying to look at a particular feature for the signal that was selected, which is the magnitude, and now you can see all the features for that signal in the same time frame here on the top window. Click back to the looking at one day at a time, so the top window shows one whole day, and I can view the bottom, the X, Y, and Z accelerometer data, the different features here for the entire week period. So it's processing again, trying to calculate what those features are for each of the signals, X, Y, Z, and vector magnitude of the counts in this case. I also try to come up with a way to look at different activity patterns, either high activity, no activity, rest. Right here, looks like there's no activity that was recorded, and so it's flagged down at the very bottom at the low period, about the third bar down. It'll be much easier for me to show to you this in person. Also, we can change the settings, so if you don't want to see some of the signals, like for here, I'm getting rid of the inclinometers, the steps, and removing those from the view. We can also change the color of a signal, resize it, move it around, and then once you're done with that, it'll be saved automatically, so the next time you load Padaco software back up again, it'll have the same settings that you had when you closed it. So this will be just one study at a time. We can load up another study. But to save time, once we've gone through, or I've gone through, or the user has gone through each of the different studies and figured out what kind of configuration they would like to examine, there's a batch processing tool that's available where you can select the directory that has all the files that have been obtained through this study. It'll load those up. You select the output directory where you want to go to, and then configure the feature time that you like. Here I'm selecting every 15 minutes. I would like to get all the features. We can also do screen captures along the way, so you can get that overview window for each study. It'll be saved in the background into that folder, and you can load them all up one at a time in your viewer of choice. Once that's done, those results are saved to disk, and we can look at them collectively with the results view. Here I'm just showing a few basic summary statistics, histograms, distribution of those features, and we can look at them by day of the week, see if there's anything more prevalent of some of the features, the feature being the mean or the root mean square for the vector magnitude, and we can select that to be different features like from the X, the Y, or the Z. I also have heat map to show the intensity of a feature by the day of the week and time of day. Here we're just going to see it as a time series. At the bottom there, I want to look a little bit closer to see what was happening. That's the early hours of the morning, or after about 10 o'clock and before 6 a.m. I looked into this, and I believe if we remove some of the outliers here, you can start to see a shape that would resemble REM sleep or non-REM sleep. I'm going to have to trim some of the outliers to about 85%. And we can adjust it to start seeing a little bit more of a periodic pattern here for the kids. And this is just looking exactly at a 6 I'm sorry, early in the morning from about midnight to 6 a.m. there. Again, we can do the same thing with the heat maps. A little bit harder to interpret, but we can find periods of activity or great activity from the background for the different features. There was 1 or 2 studies on Friday evening or something happened. I don't know if there was an earthquake or I have no idea, but there was several periods of outlier activity, it looked like. So if we normalize those, we can get this more collective shape. If we don't, there you can see that big spike on the right side. And we can trim the values to a different percent. I wanted to clip it to, I think, about 80, 85, 90%. Seemed reasonable to start getting the group behaviors and to remove the overwhelming effects of that outlier. Okay, we wanted to look at load profiles or the shapes here of these features. So looking at an entire day, we can do clustering. Right now we're looking at clustering the one at a time. Here are the different cluster profiles over the 24-hour period, and at the bottom we're showing how popular they are, with the right being the most popular, showing the most members. You can also select to see the members in the background, the sort of light gray. You can see that in the top view as I'm going back and forth between them, just to give an idea of how well they are or are not clustering. The scale of the image changes a little bit, so when I show all of the members, you'll see how it adjusts back and forth. So now I've switched to looking at the distribution of that centroid, and we'll get back to that in a minute here. Okay, that's what I'm saying, the scale is changing now, so it looks much bigger, but if I show the members that can be higher or lower values, it'll change the scale of that image, but the value is the same. Now this is an interesting one because the distribution by day of the week for this profile is only on weekdays, Monday through Friday, whereas I have been looking at the clusters for all weeks, all days of the week here. So it was interesting to see that there's one that had nothing on Saturday or Sunday, and I'm just going through looking at the different distributions based on the cluster profiles. So we can also filter if we want to remove a set. I want to look at Monday through Fridays or Saturday or Sundays. We can do that as well by selecting from the GUI and recalculating. So I'm just looking at Monday through Friday now. This one looks like it has more activity on a Monday, less on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Here's another one, low activity on a Thursday of all of them. And we can go flip back to see where the popularity of that cluster is in relationship to all the ones that are available. This is also shown on the title screen. It's a little bit hard to see in this video, but if you had it in front of you, you could see where the popularity was. And that's just the rank of that cluster for having members compared to all the other clusters and their membership counts. I'm just using the arrow keys to go back and forth right now between them. I hit left or right, or you can also use the buttons on the left, which says previous or next. This is an interesting one. Looks like there's some activity occurring around lunchtime, maybe at breakfast. And if you want to look at the weekends, you can recalculate these. So this will just only have distributions between Saturday and Sunday. Here's the popularity of these ones without the members on the top view. You can just see the different shapes as I go through where they are in terms of their popularity. And then looking at the distribution, wow, it looks like very popular on Saturday, not so popular on Sunday. Here's the even views between the two of them. Here's a very popular Sunday activity profile. Here's even distribution on both of them. So there's a lot of exploration that can be done. We can also, rather than looking at the whole day as a profile, try to look at 6 hours, 1 hour, and try to sort of remove some of the features and these profiles from where they occur during the day. There's nothing happening for that one, so it appears to be a few places where there is no activity in a 6-hour span, or I'm sorry, a 4-hour span. I can also go down to as little as 1 hour. The features were taken at 15-minute intervals, so there's only going to be 4 points per profile. So you get some very interesting shapes here, and certainly much tighter clustered. All right, I hope to follow up with you soon.